Hi, I'm Jay Woodwolf, and welcome to Cauldron Brew. Julie, hello. There
Okay,
you
all right.
are.
It wasn't letting me on. Hello.
Hi. We're still talking about Mad Mad House.
Yes. Yep. Episode 5 through 10.
hmm
The rest of them.
So, we were just before the show, we were talking about Don and his bloodletting right.
Right.
Um, I think he did actually open something. I don't know what it was, but he let something
Well,
out.
well, it's the energy. It's the chaotic energy. It's you know, Tashia being a voodoo priestess should know about that kind of energy.
Yes.
And she was guarding herself. She understood what was going on because of that energy. And it's that's why they went around saging or cleansing the house. And even Dawn got it because
Yeah, it was the two guys that decided to do that, Art and
of
Avocado.
yeah, yeah, and everyone, which is because it's not their thing. So, but they felt that there was a shift in the energy. But you know, it was a good thing because a lot of them weren't used to how to deal with that kind of energy.
Fiona definitely wouldn't be.
No,
No,
she
her
she
Wiccan
confused
is so light and
she
fluffy
she could
bunny.
well that but she confused me throughout the whole season with just different things that it's just I'm like,
Now the
you know,
knot one I understood.
yes, that one, yeah, with the knots and with the spells and all the, which one was it? I have that written down with the oh yeah, the cord magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that one, working together, undoing everything, each spell, holds it until you undo it, and learning to work together how she was doing that. Yeah, that's, that's just basic magic 101
Right.
with that one. So, but I like Don's with the miss that he was with that, and then with the bloodletting and the energy draining and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you could cause somebody to collapse like that during energy drains.
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
in I've been in circles to where um we did an energy drain, and I had somebody do that to me, and I literally collapsed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can definitely do it if you know how.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know how. I was taught by somebody from Detroit.
right. I've just always been able to
And then me and
through
her did it
one
on
of the things
somebody in Woodwolf at the time, and we made him collapse.
with permission, right?
Yes. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah. A disclaimer: never drain someone's energy without permission and without explaining what goes on.
Yeah. Well, he was well aware. We we actually sat down and talked about it beforehand before we did any of it, and we were just pulling energy um, on two separate occasions just for cleansing, just to restart the energy flow within the person.
Right.
So one day we did it with me, another day somebody else.
Yeah. But that energy that you siphon off is such a rush
It is. You
because,
gotta ground it out afterwards.
oh, yeah,
It ain't yours. Get rid of it.
exactly. But yeah,
And
I
it's
liked his
tiresome.
things.
It'll wear you out to have to drain somebody like that.
Well, yeah, because you're using your energy to siphoning someone else's to gain theirs. And it's such a rush. You have all this extra energy inside of you. And
Yeah.
then when you ground out, naturally, when you ground out, you become exhausted, because you're relaxed, you're in that relaxed state. And so when you're releasing all that energy back into the earth to ground out, you're just ready for the long winter sleep.
Yep. Um, I wouldn't mind being a part of something like that. That would be really cool, though,
Oh
just
yeah.
to see it.
Yeah, with Don's, yeah. That one I definitely would.
What do you
All
think
of
of
them.
Arts Hanging by Hooks?
Oh, I love that. That actually to me was beautiful with how, because it's the cultures that he's taken from, and worked with, and because different cultures do that with some of it to the extent, but different ways. But I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And the amount of not concentration, but it was
He had to
phenomenal,
put himself
especially.
in a deep state of meditation to
Oh
bear that
yeah.
pain. Those hooks are huge.
Oh yeah, they were. And then to hold Nicole on top of that, you know, because his skin did not rip.
No.
So that's a lot of conditioning. Even though it's all fresh punctures, it's still a lot of conditioning
Yeah.
to know how to do that. But that's right there, that's years and years of training type
Yep.
of a thing.
What else should we talk about?
Let's see. Only only one that I was impressed with was Nicole, with how many people were backstabbing her
Yes.
and constantly putting her down. She didn't retaliate. She didn't belittle them as they were belittling her, So, yeah, she talked a lot, but some people because I noticed when they went shopping for that one fancy dinner, she was trying on a couple different outfits. And yeah, she was self conscious about how she looked, which
Most women
most
are.
women do. They want to look nice and presentable. Marked her for that.
Yeah. But look
I'm
at the
just
way
like
Fiona
that,
dresses.
like a slut, and then what got me at the end was how she was sitting there going at Art and Avocado because the two left were Nicole and Jamie. And she kept complaining, well, they're spending all their time, thinking with their genitals, with how they treat the girls. Or no, how they treat Nicole. She didn't bring in Jamie.
Right.
They were around Jamie at the same time as they were Nicole. I don't know. It's just how many were constantly crying and throwing tantrums, and the backstabbing sneakiness in trying to get everybody, like with Eric, trying to get all the alts against this person, against that person. I'm sorry, that's a red flag. If
Yes.
every time he's with someone, he goes against this one person, constantly brings it up, that would be a red flag to watch out for him, because he was
He's
for sure thought
conniving. And then he
oh
became
yeah.
Fiona's pet. And then he turned on her
Well,
after the.
a little bit,
Yeah.
he because of how she was, doing
How
her
she
thing.
reacted to Don's.
Yeah, but see, that was to where, and then he was playing the field, except for the only ones he couldn't were the Guyals. They did too much. They focused too much on Fiona.
Yeah.
They hardly did anything of Dawn, hardly anything of They did somewhat pretty good with Avocado, but they didn't do much of Art, and they didn't do much of Dawn or Tashia. It was a lot of Fiona, all focused on her.
Right.
And it would have been nice to see more of Don's lifestyle
That would have been nice.
or more of Art's, of how, he thinks. And, you know, granted, it was a reality show, but they cut so much out. It just would have been nice to see more of the different alts.
Yeah.
But
I
the one
think
thing
if the
go
huh?
ahead.
No, go for it.
Oh, I was just because I was writing it down. There's two things I didn't understand about Fiona. Was okay, the five rites of passage at the end, episode 10, where they all had to go through each trial type of a thing with each of the elves. Fiona's was, you know, the Wiccan coming of age. Blindfold, you don't talk, you just sit there supposedly like in a cave. Is that a thing of Wiccan?
Yes. Well,
Is
when
it?
you're initiated into a coven, traditionally you are blindfolded and your arms are tied behind your back and you're
Okay.
naked.
Okay, so that's that one.
Yeah.
Okay. That one I sort of was like, but see, I'm not Wiccan and I don't do that stuff. I
Right.
don't belong to a coven. But there was one other thing. Oh, when Fiona had that sit down, with the girl, with everybody, and she was doing that ritual, and where they all sat there holding hands. I've never heard of that before. Is that a thing?
Which one was this?
That one was episode 8, where Eric wrote that little note saying thank you with the star, with the
Oh,
pentagram,
okay. Yeah.
and then how she sat there, Lana wouldn't go participate, but she did. I don't know. It didn't show much of a ritual, but it showed them all sitting around in a circle holding hands. I'm like, is that part of of something that in Wicca that they do?
Not that I'm familiar with, no.
Okay, those are the only two that I, was curious about. So
That might have been something created by her for her coven. I don't know. But that's not,
right,
I don't know what that was about.
so that's not really a traditional Wiccan thing.
No.
Okay,
I mean, people can come up with new things, which I don't have a problem with. But it
right,
has to make sense.
right. Well, that's why you're more familiar with it than I am. That's why I
Right.
figure, you know. But out of it all, though, I was glad that the Alks, well, yeah, even Tashia was calling bullshit on the favoritism, especially towards the end when Eric, because see, Nicole was right saying Bonnie would choose her because those two formed a bond,
Yeah.
and how Eric was just going at her again. And Tashia stood up for Nicole, so did Art and Avocado. But yet again, Fiona, oh, he wasn't being mean. Yeah, he was being an asshole.
Yeah.
There was no reason for him to keep going at Nicole.
What did you think of the one elimination where they had the contestants vote each other at
I
the
like that.
eliminations?
That one was interesting. It's to where how they all turned on Noel
Yes.
except for Nicole. And stuff. And but I liked it to where how he wasn't going to be let go, but it showed who to trust and who not to, because Noel thought he was a part of, Eric and They're that
Nicole
crowd.
wasn't sheep. She did her own thing. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Well, see, that's why they all were going after her because it showed, mentally and physically, she's strong.
Yes.
She knew the house was against her, you know, and she was just being her. Granted, yeah, she talked a lot, but I think it was part of that insecurity because she wanted to fit in.
Yes.
She wanted to be liked. So sometimes people have that tendency to find things that they can relate to talk about, to
Uh-huh.
try to show that, they can fit in too.
So
So, but
that's the way I see Nicole. Is she wasn't sheep. She
she
was
was
herself.
herself. Yeah.
Yep. And
So
I would have
she
voted Lana off a long time ago.
and Eric.
Yep.
Oh, I can't stand. I loved how Lana kept, jumping from person to person who she was going to side with. But she
I
was
think I
just a
would have kept
whiny
Bonnie on. I would have
crybaby.
kept Bonnie on. I would have kept Nicole. I would have kept Jamie.
No,
And
Jamie had to go. To me, she did. I couldn't stand. She she cried too much, and it was that poor me, and she kept using.
Jamie was one of the last two.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I didn't see growth. All I saw was lip service from her.
Mm.
You know, Nicole, I saw some growth. I would have Bonnie, yes. Bonnie would have been cool seeing.
Yep.
Um, it would have been cool to see Noel go all the way through because he got a shit deal.
Yeah.
How they kicked him up because they went to Lana and everybody else when they thought he was, addicted to cold medicine, but they didn't go to him.
Right.
And it's like if you had, and he did, he got kicked off for no reason. They all talked amongst themselves. Well, did you talk to him? He was willing to give Tashia his medicine,
Yeah.
and she said no. And then of course Lana was like, "Oh, we gotta get rid of him." So yeah, he's still using. And then she turns around. Oh, I didn't
Shit
know they put.
starters.
Yeah, yep. It's to where Noel should have known that time. When they all were gonna vote, most of them were gonna vote him off. That he shouldn't have trusted them, and he was too nice.
Yeah.
He was still too nice to them. So I don't think, honestly, Jamie should have won the money.
She didn't.
No.
Nicole did. Nicole won the whole thing.
Oh yeah, she did. Is to where and it was sad seeing at the end when Avocado had to let her go, and he was holding her and he was crying, but because Jamie used that card of "I'll change my life around." I have a little kid. I have a 3-year old, so they're gonna feel for that. And if she wouldn't have played that card, she wouldn't have won because she sucked at everything, all the trials. She didn't put in any effort.
So, do you believe that if somebody sucks at something, they're not putting in effort?
Not if they constantly are sucking at everything, they're not putting in effort. They don't care. It's one thing to try and it's one thing to fail, but you learn from it
Mm-hmm.
and you grow. And then I'll be like, okay, she wasn't even putting in effort. She just give up and then have the tears running down that, oh, feel sorry for me. Bonnie put in more effort, you know, with, in that pit with all that, which is she is staying with all the guts and everything. She stayed focused. and she won. So if
Yeah.
Bonnie could do it,
Nicole
Jamie
worked hard to
should.
get where she got
Nicole, yes,
with all the opposition that she went through.
especially with Art's trial with the two weight 10, so she had 20 pounds on top of standing there on that hook for over an hour and a half, and Jamie only had 10 pounds. It's
So
to
if
where Nicole should have won that one.
yeah. So the top two, who do you think should have been out of all of them? Should have been the top two.
Out of all of them, definitely Nicole, because she was busting ass. She was determined to win. I don't see anything wrong with that competitive spirit. Um,
But she didn't backtalk anybody either.
no, she didn't. She was respectful. She didn't backtalk, even though she had every right for the, especially at Eric, who was constantly going at her. She should, I think it would have been good just for once to shut him up,
Right.
but she let it go. So that shows part of her character, with everything. And she has strong willpower to be
Yeah.
able to blow that off for that long with people constantly going at you. Um, and the other one, I know, see, I would have loved to see Bonnie, but I know she wouldn't have been able to do the weights,
Yeah.
with all the stuff. Um, God, I don't know. If I had to come down to it all, it would have been nice actually to see Noel and Nicole. I don't
Okay.
think Jamie deserved to be there halfway through. She wasn't putting in anything.
Do you think in the last episode Jamie tried?
She had to, and to show, like when they were doing arts thing with carrying the skulls and the weights in circles until he said it was time to stop, she was already quitting. Nicole kept going, but Nicole was cheering her on, telling her, don't stop, keep going.
Yeah.
That spoke volumes right there that she was trying to help her keep going and everything. So it's to where, she was going to bow out. She was going to tap out.
Well, that's a lot of work. I mean,
Yeah, but it's all mindset.
yeah.
Art's thing is all mindset. Like what Nicole did. She crossed her arms, she just breathed, and she just kept going. She had a nice, even pace. Yeah, you're pulling stuff and it's tiring and you hurt and everything else. But if you put your mind to something, you just keep doing it. And it shows who in life is used, they kept calling her a princess, Malibu
Yeah.
princess. I didn't see that. I saw someone that's had to fight for everything her entire life.
Yes.
So what, she was in beauty pageants. So what? That is a cutthroat business. You're constantly competing. You have to be the best. You have to win people over, you know, just with everything she was doing, So she was, positive and laughed a lot and wanted to enjoy life. I would rather be around a positive person than a negative Nelly.
Right.
That someone is constantly
I'm
negative
not gonna
or
want to be around no drama queen. That's for damn sure.
exactly, or someone that, because if they're talking bad about someone for no reason, just say, we're going to use prime example Eric, because he was bad mouthing everybody.
Yes.
It's
I
to
didn't
where
like Eric.
oh, I couldn't stand him. He was a sniveling little snake, and it's to where he was constantly trying to play everybody off so he wasn't being looked at, because he didn't offer anything to the house.
Mm.
He needed to go. And I'm sorry that I started laughing. Fiona, I've had a rough morning. I've cried all morning. Why? Because your boy toy got kicked off
Right.
because you couldn't save him, you know, and sit there and it's just like, oh, you got 20 more minutes to give me a massage. Yeah, like that's acceptable. What she would have done if one of the girls would have, massaged Avocado and Art.
Right.
I still would like to see more of Dawn's though. Dawn's stuff and Art's. Those are the two that are really
I
interesting.
like Avocado. I think he's a pretty cool dude.
Oh yeah, he's down to earth and he's real,
Yes.
and he'd be cool learning what you can eat in out in the wild and whatnot. And I always
I
like
think
learning
out
that
of
stuff.
all the five alts, Avocado would be somebody I could be friends with. Um, Don, I think I could be friends with Don. Um, Fiona, there's no fucking way. Uh, Art and Tashia, they would be someone to learn from.
Yeah. Oh, I would
So
love, except for
Don and Avocado would be more like friends, whereas Tashia and Art would be more
like
of the
teachers.
yes,
Yeah, like not really. It's like a teacher, but more of I cannot think of that word. But yeah,
an
someone that
elder in a
yeah,
way.
right. I don't know. See, for me, take Fiona out of the equation because I just
Yep.
can't stand her. But the other four, I could see being friends with. Besides learning from them, but to be friends and hanging out with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause my
I couldn't
two,
see myself hanging out with Tashia. She would be somebody that I could sit down in front of and listen to her talk and tell stories and to teach kind of thing.
right. See, I love her
Art would
energy.
be the same way. Whereas Avocado, I think I would have all kinds of fun with him.
Yeah, now with that, I could see with you with avocado.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There would be a lot of good laughs there. It would be like an equal thing.
Well, yeah, because he's more laid back.
Yeah.
He's positive. Every day's a good day, and you just got to make it that way
Yep.
and stuff. It's all a mindset. Both of them are mindsets. Avocado and Art is a mindset on
Yeah.
how your day's gonna be and how you should live your life.
Was there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I think we just covered them all. That's what I meant. We could fly through it. It's you
Yeah.
know, no, that's about it.
I have nothing more to add myself.
Yeah, no, no,
So
because
next week will be in October, and we will be talking about what? Because you
we're
planned
gonna
October.
yes, my month.
Yep.
I figured for the month of October, we'll talk about you know how do you word it? Basically, Halloween in different cultures, how it came to be, how they still do they still you know celebrate it? Do how it what do they call it? Just different things from all of the different things like with the Norse, with the Celtic, um, just throughout history, you know, just how it
Hmm.
all comes about. I think it'll be interesting because for us it's a lot of research, but it's something that I haven't. Of course, I don't go through a lot of podcasts and everything or a lot of YouTube channels because most of them don't interest me because
Right.
they're 90% Wiccan that all I can find. But it's, I really haven't seen much, and I could be wrong. That's known to happen quite, off and on. But I've never really seen anyone talk about the history of how, quote, Halloween came about.
And yep. Okay, we can do that. Oh,
Oh,
and
yeah.
one more thing.
Hmm.
your Cauldron Brew candle.
Yes, unfortunately, I don't have one yet. I did. I had two of them. They both sold out.
Oh,
Yes, it went flying. Yeah, I mean, people are just loving it. So, but
go ahead
next,
and talk about your Cauldron Brew candle.
okay, okay. Well, it is on. Jay will put the link to, or I'll put a link to my my candle page on Facebook, so you can see it. Um, it's called Cauldron Brew. It's all organic. It's has I do my own scents, blending of scents. So there's probably I think 5 or 6 scents to it. So it's I designed this one for the podcasts for the month of October. So that will be available soon. So
So, did you tell them? Did they ask about how you came up with the name? And when you
no,
sold those,
because it was for because it was also with because I also have a candle that I put you remember like for last year for the party I had my did my face as a skull
yeah,
and I had how I dressed and I was holding our friend's actual skull in my hand.
yes,
And because also that I do necromancy, I named my candle Necromancer's Call.
yeah,
And that was with my cauldron brew. So it's to where people are just thinking, okay, Halloween's coming up. It's green and it has a picture of a cauldron on it. And so it's to where I was just like, okay, but it wasn't really the places that I was vending at with my candles that I couldn't really do my pagan, talk about the pagan stuff.
right.
So, they some of them saw the name, Necromancer's Call, and they gave me the dirtiest look. So I was like, yeah, can't talk about these,
Right.
because I even have my picture on that candle, but you couldn't tell it's me. So but yeah, I'll definitely, after we get off in the comments section, I'll post the link so that way if anyone wants to check it out and, see what, we're talking about. And then I should be able to have some more this coming by when we hit October by next weekend. I'll have one set up to where I can show it
Okay.
because I went to the store to pull it off the shelf and it was already done.
Oh,
Yeah, people really love that one.
it has a unique smell to it.
See, I think it's pretty, but it's also, but yeah,
It
the
is pretty, but
scents,
it's unique. You can't
yes.
pinpoint the scent.
Well, see, all my candles are that way. I blend a lot of different scents together to create a new one. So, because I don't like, there's too many, you can, when you smell a candle, I want to have something unique and different
Mm-hmm.
because you always have, certain ones like the coconut, or you can smell the clove or this or that. I don't want something that's just prominent that that takes out away from the other smells. I wanted to be able to all blend together.
Mm-hmm.
So you just don't know what it is, but they all complement each other. So,
There you guys have it. Order your Cauldron Brew candle soon.
yes, coming soon.
Well, I think that's all I have for tonight.
Yep, yeah, I'm done too.
All right. Everybody have a good night and thank you for tuning in.
Bye.